You have now arrived at Stadium and Gale.
Snap, the kick, it's been blocked again! Oh my! It's been blocked again! He's gonna heave one deep down the field. It's gonna be to the goal line. It's gonna be gone! It's a touchdown! And the Gators have won the game! Tyree Cleveland! Oh my! I can't believe what I just saw!
Dropping back to throw, pops and fires the ball over the middle. It's Corey! It's Corey! Got a touchdown! Corey's got a touchdown! Oh man! Corey's got a touchdown! Hands it off to Harvin. He comes back. Say goodbye.
Ahmad Black, in his final game as a Gator, takes it all the way home and sends Urban out a winner.
You have now arrived at Stadium and Gale.
You're on mute.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
You're off the game. It's Corey. Corey's there. Corey's there. I'm Dan.
Hey, it's Corey, man. Stadium and Gale. We hanging out, man. Welcome to the show. What's up? Go ahead.
I'm Dan.
Delatory.
And your boy Jay Scar.
What
Man,
up, 2-5?
Yes, sir. It's been a long time since I was coming, man. I'm glad to have Nick back. I know he was back last week, but I wasn't here in the beginning of the show, so I was looking forward to that part right there.
Is bumbling Coach Dan's going to have Corey walking around with the intro high and tight all around campus the rest of the week.
Man, I started on mute, bro. I guess that's the type of show we're about to have, man. How was y'all boys' weekend?
It was good, man. It was good. You and I talked about it, man. I'm tired. Just a long week, long weekend. It's just catching up to me a little bit. Gotta make some, you know.
I didn't get any of this in the pre-show. I got here late.
Yeah.
Early in the show, parents listened. Glad to see Bender Dan back in full form.
Well, I mean, it wasn't Bender type stuff. Like, I mean, I went to a concert Thursday night. I played golf with a client on Friday. Then met up with some friends after, and then Saturday is my buddy's birthday, and so it wasn't even crazy. Oh, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Jake. He was there at the Friendly Tarpon Tavern. Shout out to Jake, longtime listener of the program. But
it is
I think it catches up to you a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We was talking pre-show, and I was telling you, man, like I limit myself. Like I remember, like in my prime, bro, you just pounding shots, pounding drinks, wake up and go, to the gym, whatever, play ball the next day. Maybe a little hungover, but may get some hair of the dog to keep the party going. Like who knows? But these days, bro, like I be out, like just on just injury reserve for the next 3-4 days after drinking, bro.
Yeah, so I'm on the injured reserve currently.
I had moved my daughter into FIU on Friday, which was, you already know, like the type of day that is. Traffic coming back from Miami was crazy, but successful. I didn't shed any tears.
I was going to ask.
I stayed strong. I woke up. I was a little shaky. I had some wobbly knees when I first woke up, but I got myself together before the drive.
You were Felipe Franks in those swamp green jerseys. You were like baby giraffe knees.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was, man. But no, that went smooth. Saturday went fishing. That sun, I'm like, damn, I'm on injury reserve, bro. I've been trying to recover yesterday and today. Like, bro, I don't know how these kids do it. That's a different sun than the one I grew up with, bro. No way it's the same sun.
I think. Now, for my early 30s, I definitely played through it, but like 30s the cutoff, where the hangovers are on steroids. The hangovers have been working out. They've been laying in the weeds. You get 30, and then all of a sudden it's pop, 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 and you're like, oh, okay,
yeah.
Can't do this anymore. Big washed weekend, super washed, big dad stuff, park, pool. getting whatever the daycare itis is right now. I'm going through that right now, coughing along with the daughter. Played some video games with her. I think she just likes to scream. We're at that point.
I know that trick.
Put her in front of any screen, as long as something's
she
happening
loves
on the
video
TV.
games, yeah.
As long as there's something moving on the screen. I thought it was only Miss Rachel. I learned it's also MLB The Show. So Miss Rachel's been pushed to the side. We're getting back into our road to the show while I can. But yeah, big washed dad weekend.
Well, I had a pretty interesting weekend. I actually had a wedding over the weekend in New Hope, Pennsylvania. I've never heard of New Hope in my life.
It looks fire. Nice. It look elegant as hell out there, bro.
It was nice, but it was some weird things in that town. It was a pineapple town, if you catching my drift. Pineapple fried
pineapples
in a pineapple hotel. Right.
Okay.
Let's just say me and my ladies got a lot of compliments all night long from everyone in the building. Why am I getting complimented so much? And then
good though.
Yeah, the valet guy was like, "Yeah, man, it's that kind of party." I was like, "Hold on, it's time for me to go." But overall, it was a good weekend, man. The wedding was beautiful. My boy Michael Dogby played in the league for a couple of years. Managed to muscle out 8 years in the league. He went to Temple University. Him and his wife tied the knot this weekend, so that was big time for them, and congrats to them. But otherwise, I was on IR yesterday because it was a lot of open bar all weekend. And
we're all washed.
We're all getting old.
We're
all washed.
We're all washed. I'm going scalping this upcoming weekend, though, boys. Pumped about that. Corey, the invite.
Every summer he does this, Jordan. You new to the show, but every summer he does this, never invites me. I say every year, bro.
Not a single time.
I never get an invite. And he's like, next year I got
one invite. Not one invite.
A hurricane was about to blow his uncle's house away. And I was just like, yo, am I going to be able to do it? He's like, I don't know, man. The house might not make it. The house make it, and I still don't get the invite. That's crazy.
I mean, I don't have the invite to give. I'll sit down with my uncle and see if he wants to extend.
They'll sit down on the boat this year to talk about next year's invite.
Correct. Yeah. So we're gonna go scalping Friday and Saturday. It'll be an elite activity. It's elite Florida activity. We got a lot to talk about though.
This is 2 weeks in a row that Space Mountain has given you props. I'm wondering if you're logged into another Google account on YouTube.
No, as I told you, my experience with Space Mountain wasn't the experience that I wanted, and I haven't been on Space Mountain since. I haven't really had the opportunity. I'm not a Disney guy myself. Well, we got a lot to talk about. We appreciate everybody watching. Hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube. Please help. It helps the algorithms. Share it on X. Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Corey, let's get an ad read, and then we got some things to jump into before Jordan Castell joins us.
Stadium and Gale is powered by the great folks at Brunt Insurance and Financial Services, man. Anything you need insured, car, home, auto, your life, my man Greg can take care of you. He's taking care of the entire Southeast. But most importantly, from the Panhandle to the Keys, hit them up. It don't cost a dime to get a free quote. You can visit bruntinsurance.com or give them a call at 954-589-2204. Big coverages, big policies.
Greg, what it do, baby?
We want to give some shout outs to people in the comments. Jam was here before the show started. Been a while, but watching from sunny Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I was telling Corey, I was in Sioux Falls that year that Florida played Auburn. I looked it up. I was at TC Referees. I'm not sure if that's still around, but I was the only Gator fan in that bar. I had to ask them to change the channel to the Gator game. I acted like a fool when the Gators won that game. So Sioux Falls, a special place in my heart. Nick, we're going to save the baseball question for later. Deidre says, watching from Birmingham, Alabama, what I'm hearing, the Cleveland kid is not a lock to Texas. We'll talk a little bit about recruiting here in a second. Mike said Dan's hat is greater than Nick's hat. I bought Nick his hat, so I appreciate it for me making the right choice. And then Michael Dixon, appreciate you. And then Anthony Beck, always here, appreciate you, my friend. Since the last show, The Gators landed 2 commitments. We talked a bit about CJ Bro now, the former Nebraska commit that committed to Florida 5 days ago. But I do want to talk about Tremont Collins, who did announce his commitment the other day. He's a class of 2027, so he's the first commit in that class, ranked as the 179th best player nationally, according to the 247 composite, the 8th best athlete out of Cottondale High School in Cottondale, Florida. That is basically in the LA part of Florida, the lower Alabama part, if you're keeping track at home. So I'll pull up his tape here, but what are your guys' thoughts on Tremont Collins?
It's probably where the cotton comes from, right by Alabama.
So here he is, audio medium, remember? So what are your thoughts on Tremont Collins here?
Man, kids electric. They know how to find them. They know they got a certain type of just athlete. This kid goes from running back to receiver. But a lot like Vernell Brown, a lot like Trey Wilson, he's in that mold, and they find one of these type of kids like every cycle. So he's just a football player. I know everybody gets caught up in the 6'5", 6'3", could run this, could run that. This kid's just a flat out football player that make plays wherever he's at on the field. So just a good get.
Yeah.
Tremont has good size though, doesn't he?
Yeah, 6'2", 183 pounds. I should have given you guys a little bit
small. Just like that's just not what I'm like. Like his measurables ain't the only thing. He's a good football player.
He looked like he raw talent.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a long run of when Dan was here. It's those guys who were 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, it's just big.
Hey, look, they're fast. You're like, yeah, but it takes them 15 yards to get to fast.
That was Xavier Henderson's. That was Xavier Henderson's thing, right? He's a 400 runner, so it was more of a stride. While he was a track kid, it was more of a 400 strider than a guy that's quick twitch to get out of his breaks and stuff and off the line of scrimmage fast. So I didn't mean to cut you off, Nick. Finish up, my boy.
No, you said it all. I was just like, when you said like Eugene and some people like that, I was like, wait, I think he's big. So I pulled up the.
I think you said Vernell Brown.
Yeah, but he looks like he's a pretty raw talent type of guy. I mean, as you see, he's all over the field, running back, receiver, even a little bit on defense, and he just looks real comfortable out there. Nothing looks like it's too big for him, and honestly, just looks like he's the best thing on the field at all times. So
correct.
I love this kid.
Yeah, so just to give you guys a bit of a background, I forgot to do that. We just kind of jumped straight into the highlight reel here. Picked Florida over Florida State, Kentucky, Louisville, Tennessee, a host of other schools. Is a 3-sport athlete. In high school, he plays football, obviously, where he plays wide receiver, quarterback, defensive back, linebacker, and return man. His team went 9-1. He carried the ball 31 times for 661 yards. That's a 21.3 yard per carry. Yards per carry, 9 touchdowns, 13 pass catches for 402 yards and 6 touchdowns, had 33 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 interception, and had a kickoff return for a touchdown. Averages 13.1 and 7.3 rebounds per game as a basketball player, and then ran. He was the region champion in the 200-meter dash as a sophomore, and also ran a 10.89 100 and a 21.89 in the 200. So incredibly elite speed, and obviously a multi-pronged athlete there.
That's hard to find these days. Like kids that play 3 sports.
Yeah,
that's very hard to find these days. That was normal in our day, but not nowadays.
Yeah, it was whatever season it was. That's the sport you were playing. There was football season, and there was basketball season, and then there was baseball. Well, baseball down in South Florida is year round. No, this is not my high school tape. I think mine's on VHS.
Probably same video quality though.
Definitely on the potato.
Yeah. Cottondale is using the exact same camcorder my dad used to film.
Like, look how he ran the alley right there, bro. Like as a DB, bro, it's not a bad look. Like he's coming down. Look at that.
Oh no! Come on, that's
he ran the alley with a pistol.
Buddy, don't need
No
to see that.
Jordan.
That was a small white honor student.
It was
8 yards.
It was, but it's
just
the
a
thought,
small white
it was
AP
the
math
effort behind
kid
it.
who was happy to have the ball in his hands. You didn't have to do it like that.
Just have the
You're
opportunity.
gonna go focus on the honor roll after that, bro. I tell you that.
Bro, those AP exams are gonna be tough the next morning.
Yeah, he goes wherever he at though. I like that.
Yeah,
we will get to this. I had somebody reach out to me and ask if Florida Victorious was paying high school athletes. I said no. Why? They didn't believe that Florida and William Napier would go on this kind of run. But no, we are not paying high school athletes.
what they haven't been paying attention?
Nah, amen.
I mean, this is the third year in a row that they've started slow and have just done this
Yeah,
like May, June, July, August thing. Like that's why we talked about it a few months ago. Like you're not worried, right? Like obviously I think you want them to have more people, but you knew that Florida was going to go on a run, whether you agree with all the takes or not. You knew Florida was going to go on a run. Kind of surprised that people just don't realize that that's the way that they play this game. They take very few commitments for the next class. Like I wouldn't be surprised unless it's a quarterback. And the way that I understand the way Florida's recruiting that 2027 quarterback room, I think it's going to be a very long time. Just knowing a couple of guys that are committed and what they're telling them now. I don't know if you'll see another 2027 commit kid in this year, right? This calendar year, maybe the next 9 months, right? So it's just the MO. I could be wrong. I've been wrong once or twice before, but
I'm mad at that. I'm cool with that, honestly.
No, you spot on. Like they have a scrap. They about to go on another run here too. Like they got some more they're anticipating on. But this is last year was a little bit of more of a stalemate, and we really, I think, like early in the season, it was a lot more I would say hesitation, players wanting to see the product on the field last year. So it was a slower start of the 3 or 4 years that they've been here in the recruiting season. But you seen how they closed right there at signing day. Like right when you got around early signing day, like these guys can recruit. I didn't see a way of them pulling themselves out of that hole last year. I just didn't see it. It felt like it was going to be a transition type class, and they went and got a top 7 class, bro.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, no, I do want to also mention we did talk about him on the show last week, but the Gators did get the commitment of CJ Bronow, who's the 4-star cornerback. He was previously committed to Nebraska. He flipped from Nebraska on June 18th, had an unofficial visit on the 17th. 247 has him ranked as the number 72 overall player in the country, the number 6 cornerback nationally, a 10.33 in the 100. So we're talking about how fast Tremont Collins was. This kid's a half second faster. Obviously he's got another year on him, but right. I mean, you're talking about speed. He was a state champion in the 100 and 200 meter as a sophomore. Took visits to Nebraska, FSU, Florida, decommitted, like I said, from Nebraska, cited proximity to home, strong relationships with Coach Napier and cornerback coach Deron Wilson. And then he also mentioned a lot of confidence in the academic programs at Florida and the Gator-made career support. So, again, a great guy, another great commit. The Gators are ranked, I think, 13th or 14th right now, depending on where you look at rankings. But, you know, Florida's been in this spot, and right now they're trending for some 4-star guys, some 5-star guys, depending on where you look, to get them into July here, where, you know, I see the Gators probably getting another 5 or 6 before the season starts.
Yeah. Now, Bronar is absolutely like just nasty. I think like this is a loaded class this year, DBs, and the stays loaded every year. He's 1 or 2 in my opinion. And I that 10-200 meter is just absolutely crazy. Like Anthony Beck's talking in the comments, world-class speed. Will Mazzell, who is Aiden Mazzell's dad, sent me a DM of when him and Aiden were racing at the states championship, and he had a 50-meter. Aiden had a 50-meter lead on him, and how this kid closed that lead in, you know, the last whatever meters it was, but it was a crazy gap. But this kid is just impressively fast. And a kid that loves football, kid that I love track athletes. I said this on my logo talk. I love track athletes because of the work ethic. You don't have those kids that grow up in track. You don't have to teach them to train or anything like this. You already know.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm about to say definitely. Track training is one of the hardest workouts possible for real. Obviously, every sport has their own thing to what makes it hard, but just having the ability to run your fastest every time, that's going to make you winded, make you tired, make you not want to continue to run. And they know that they have to hit top every time if they want to get faster. So just having that dog in you to be out there on them hot days and be able to run, man, I salute all the track guys. And the fact that you're saying that he loves track but loves football more, you got to love a dude like that because you know he's going to put his best foot forward.
Jordan, do you run track?
I did. I stopped once we got to Florida for some reasons I really don't want to say.
You ran at St. Thomas?
Yeah, I ran at St. Thomas and U School.
I knew the U School you would run. I didn't know if you were fast enough to run at St. Thomas though.
Oh, jeez.
Nah, I was up the par.
I was running now.
Yeah. But we were supposed to win the 4x1, but Bruce and Trey dropped the baton. I think I went to regionals for the 100 and 200, and then it's this one dude that ended up going to FSU from Piper. Oh my God, he was blazing. I think he ran like 10-3, 10-2. But I PR'd running against him. I think my best I went 10-4.
That's flying, bro.
That's flying.
What were you weighing your senior year in high school?
205, 208. I wasn't 210 yet. When I got to Florida, I got like over 210.
Well,
Dan, quick segue. Have you been watching our Panthers parade around Fort Lauderdale?
so my brother, I think I sent you guys a video. My brother,
He was lit.
My brother was lit. Yes, he was. He saw Brad Marsh and the rest of them. Congratulations to the Florida Panthers fans.
Our Panthers.
Yep.
He said, "Yep."
No, not my.
That was easy. Easy, Mazel. My bad, Will. Look at Will in the comments hanging out. Wrong, Mazel. I don't put no smut on his name.
Thank you for the fact check.
Yeah. Congratulations to the Florida Panthers fans, many of whom didn't know they had a team 4 years ago, but you guys deserve it.
Lifelong
Best
Panthers
team
fan.
in the NHL.
I've
I've got a group chat with some friends that never talked about hockey ever until about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And all of a sudden, the world's biggest hockey fans. And I've been trying to tell you guys, Nick was celebrating. And I remember way back in the day, I used to purposefully misspell things about hockey so they would show up on Nick's timeline because he was blocking and muting words related to hockey. And now he's the world's biggest Florida Panthers fan. It's amazing.
NHL and hockey are still muted on Twitter. I probably missed a bunch of fire tweets during our back-to-back runs.
Hockey, like their fans ain't even annoying or a troll or do nothing weird.
No,
there was like 5 of us when he was doing it. I'm like, what are you?
Yeah. No, it's true. It wasn't. I wasn't being overrun by hockey tweets. I was just getting it out of my life.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to them and the 11 people that went to the championship parade yesterday. Looked elite. Looked absolutely elite. All right, we're waiting on Jordan Castell to join us. Want to give a quick shout out to friend of the program, a personal friend who I know at least 3 of us. Jordan, I'm sure you'll meet him too one day, and you guys will be friends too. But Ben Chase was awarded the NIL Director of the Year for his contributions and commitment to the University of Florida, to NIL, and to the NIL community. So we wish nothing but certainly the best. The Gators have a great one in Ben Chase, and we appreciate what he's done for the University of Florida. Cool. All right. Well, let's get a quick ad read, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the quarterback position at the University of Florida while we wait for Jordan to join us. Go visit our friends over at Game Time Sidekicks, GameTimeSidekicks.com. You can get a really cool cup like the one that I have here. Nick has a whole box right behind him. We're going to be doing some giveaways here in the next couple of weeks to do that. But go visit Game Time Sidekicks. He keeps your hot drinks hot, your cold drinks cold. That is an absolute beautiful cup that you've got there, Nick. Hot drinks hot, cold drinks cold. You are going to find a great product that not only is very affordable, but also one that is going to rival anything that you can get on the market. And you can support the University of Florida. You can support a few of the players, including the DJ Lagway Cup that Nick has on display there. So go visit GameTimeSidekicks.com. Use promo code Stadium15 at checkout, and you'll get 15% off of your order. So GameTimeSidekicks.com, promo code Stadium15. All right, guys, I want to talk a little bit about and what we're going to do, just so everybody is following along. Each week, we are going to break down a position group or two to prepare you guys for what this upcoming season is going to look like for the Florida Gators. This week, not a ton of surprise in that the way that we're going to do this, we're not going to be talking about position battles and who we'd like to see there. The Gators quarterback position has already been decided, and that's going to be sophomore DJ Lagway at the helm. Behind DJ Lagway, you have Aiden Warner, then Harrison Bailey / Tremel Jones, Clay Millen, and then you have a few walk-ons. You have Paul Kessler, and you have Lawrence Wright the fourth, and Aaron Williams, all as
Lawrence Wright is
Lawrence Wright transferred. I'm sorry. Yes. So I'm looking at a roster. It's slightly outdated. So take Lawrence Wright the fourth off, and then add Aaron Williams as your walk-ons. So right now it is DJ Lagway, then Aiden Warner, the Yale transfer, and then Harrison Bailey, the Tennessee UNLV Louisville transfer, and Tremel Jones, the freshman. Clay Millen, a guy that a lot of people kind of wondered if he would be the backup last season. We didn't see him play last year, the former Nevada and Colorado State player. But guys, let's break down that position a little bit. We'll talk about DJ Lagway second. What do you guys think from a backup quarterback perspective? Who do you envision taking the snaps? Nick, you were out at practice, for most of the spring, and then obviously last year as well. So what are your thoughts? And, let's go from there.
Yeah. I was talking with, shout out to Harrison Tenzer, was talking to him. I was like, hey, I think we're talking quarterbacks today. And every time I mention Aiden Mizell, people are like, oh, Nick just doesn't want to be wrong because he said he can spin it.
Aiden Warner.
I think Aiden Warner, yeah. Sorry, what did I say?
Aiden Mizell.
Oh, I'm sitting here staring at Will in the comments. Sorry, Will. I think Aiden shows up last year. They find out he has a knee injury. Clay gets all the snaps. He's like the third or the fourth string. And then all of a sudden comes back, beats out Clay Millen. He becomes the 3. Ram goes down.
We're gonna pause you. Let's everybody mentally pause yourself. Jordan is waiting in the green room here. As we always do, we want to give a special shout out to our friends over at Home Field Apparel. I know we just did an ad read. We're doing another one. So homefieldapparel.com, use promo code Stadium and Gale. You get 15% off of your order. Anything that you could want, Florida Gators related, retro logos, t-shirts, baseball style t-shirts. They have the baseball pullovers, the jackets, all of that. Go visit GameTimeSidekicks.com. Use promo code Stadium and Gale, all one word, at checkout, and you will get 15% off of your order. With that, from Orlando, Florida, a junior defensive back, we're going to welcome Jordan Castell, a fan favorite, and a guy that's kind of hard to believe. He's entering his third year at the University of Florida. Jordan, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
You said junior, and I was like, no, that can't be right. But then also you played in like 112 games.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jordan, we're gonna start this off. Just a quick about Jordan and what he's been able to do so far in college. 2-time SEC Fall Academic Honor Roll, the Sean Alexander National Freshman of the Week, SEC Freshman of the Week in 2013, Freshman All-American Honorable Mention in 2023 by CFN, and ESPN Freshman All-American in 2023, and a Freshman All-SEC. So, Jordan, a lot of Gator fans really excited about you when you committed to Florida, and then obviously your first couple of years here. Touch us a little bit about how you ended up at Florida. You chose us over Alabama, Florida State, LSU, and the like. So how'd you end up a Florida Gator?
I'd say just like, like the coach at Florida. The coach at Florida, then I still look at Florida as DBU. It's been rough lately, but like we done had some dudes like come out of Florida. So and it was really just opportunity. Academics was important as well, but just having the chance to play early as a freshman, and that was really that did it for me though.
Go ahead, guys.
What was like the sales pitch to them? Was it early playing time? I know it was a newish staff. I think you committed their second recruiting class, Billy's second class. What was the sales pitch?
I'd say it was really the depth chart. And I know Coach Napier is not a guy to like really grab a lot of people from the transfer portal. And you see like a lot of schools doing that, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not really Coach Napier's style. So when I seen like the depth chart and it was only like 2 safeties and they're like only a grade above me, and I was like, that's like a real chance to play. So I just took that and ran with it.
Now was that it's interesting. That was that portal piece spoke about in the recruiting process? Did Billy talk about his not being aggressive in the portal when recruiting you guys?
Yeah, it was something that he mentioned. Then like, of course, like, all coaches, just be talking. But I kind of just like, like we really only grab about like 1 receiver out the portal. But, Nate want like somebody who's like, really like young and he want everything to be structured. So not really like no me guys. So I feel like it's like the best way to do it. Just, grab a young guy and just, show him the ways to do it.
What's funny is you're right. Like Billy wants to build through high school recruiting and they kind of supplement. But then you look at your position, you guys brought in like DJ, Asa. There have been a bunch of like either like nickel guys or safeties that they've kind of brought in. But a lot of that just kind of been depth, and because you and Bryce came in together and then they kind of like brought in a bunch of other guys at that position.
What was it like? You get to camp your freshman year, and it's not hard to play safety in the SEC as a true freshman. But right out the gate that Utah game, the fans are excited. Like, we got a young boy back there. And it's also encouraging to see the coaches play the young kids, because a lot of times they rather play an older guy that knows the assignments but not as good physically, right? But what was that whole process like for you? Just going through that first camp and then getting that first start at Utah.
I never really looked at myself as, I'm a freshman. I'm always a guy who's in the building, just trying to better myself, watching film and, but what really helped me though, just, like earning the older guys' respect. I'm a guy, who's going to come in and, be the same guy every day, do my job and, make sure the team's good. So just not really having that mindset, okay, I'm a freshman. I got 3 more years. Like, I'm trying to get it in now. So that's what really helped me out.
When did you know that you would be like a Division I football player and that you had, the opportunity to potentially make the NFL as well?
I'd say my freshman year, I had Coach Ike. Ike Taylor is my coach, and like he was the guy who always believed in me. He was like the DB's coach, and all the other coaches was telling him like, hey, like he not ready, like like you better let him play as a freshman, like start. Like he was like, yeah, like the kid got it. But Coach Ike, like he's somebody who like I still talk to today. Really like, he has a son, Ivan Taylor, and I'm kind of like a big brother figure to him. So just a guy who always believed in me and just showed me the ways.
It's a hell of a coach to have. Go ahead.
For real. I was about to say, When
For
was
real.
your welcome to the SEC moment, welcome to college moment? If you ever had one yet, I would love to hear that story, whether it was in practice or a game. Shoot, let me know. Maybe you just that guy and that ain't happened yet. I don't know.
Nah, for real. Nah, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I say South Carolina, dog. Like, man, I ain't like them boys big.
Yeah, South
Them
Carolina
boys
players,
big.
they gonna play us
It's
tough
like,
every time. They gonna give you their
That's
best
great
play.
man, them
honesty.
boys big. You feel me? Like, I
Yeah.
ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, like I'm talking about like it was a play
Any
like them boys
specific
scored and
play?
all. Like,
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
me.
Any
I think
specific
it was just me and the tight end. Yeah, like it was just me and the tight end. And it was like I pulled up.
Yeah.
Like, bro laid me down. Like I ain't bro laid me down and scored.
Hey,
Yeah, like I ain't
that,
gonna lie to
bro.
you. That's when I was like, yeah, like this SEC get real.
Yeah. Say, bro, playing in this league, bro, you just got to win more than you lose because you're gonna get got. Them boys on scholarship too.
You gonna have your days, but I ain't gonna lie, like just even like going at it with practice, what with Ricky Pearsall, a guy who always we always competed, and he pushed me though. Like he was telling me like a dude with a lot of experience. Just like
Jordan, your
go hard
audio
every
is a
play,
little
like
off.
you gonna.
One second, Jordan, your audio is a little off. Are you covering the mic or something? You got headphones? Or?
Now you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Oh yeah, but yeah, nah, I was just talking about Ricky Pearsall, just just helping me out. I'm still
Ricky
going
was
in and
good
out.
though.
It's doing it's good, it's great content. So I want to get the audio as clear as we can, bro. You talking some good talk, but it's like a little cracking going on. Yeah.
All right, but let me leave and come back.
Okay, yeah. No problem.
I wonder if he was talking about Nick Harbor.
Nick Carter.
Audio Chris, man. I don't want to waste none of that content, bro.
No, Nick Harbor.
Harbor.
Carolina.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Backstreet Boys singer Nick Carter.
No. Nick Harbor, 6'5", 235. I think he ran like a 10-3.
No, I thought he said tight end.
Yeah.
Well, Nick Harbor looks like a tight end.
He does.
He looks like a tight end.
Yeah, shout out to James in the comments, man. While we waiting on Jordan Castell to come back, y'all like, subscribe, man. It don't cost nothing to show love. Hit that like.
There's a couple hundred people watching on YouTube right now, so expect a couple hundred likes. All right, I think Jordan's back. His video looks clear. Nah, sounds a little scratchy. Jordan, you connected to Wi-Fi?
Nah, yeah, I'm not even home right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm up in Georgia. Yeah, I'm up in Georgia working.
Got that week. I was there Friday for workouts in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I heard Coach T Miles being like, all right, see ya. You got a week. And I'm like, oh shoot, summer A, summer B.
Nah, you feel me? We're not used to that. So you got to get up out of that.
You got to take that and run with it, man. Don't even waste an hour at that bit.
Go ahead, Nick.
Quick question. That I think he's a junior too. Nick Harbor, number 8 for Carolina. Was that? Do you remember if that was the person? He's listed 6'5", 235. Number 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
An alien.
Nah, that boy a beast though. That's what I'm saying. That's just that SEC ball.
Bro ran through me and scored. Bro ran through me and scored.
It be like that, gang. Long as you get that boy along more than he gets you.
So what's the transition been like from switching DB coaches? Like I know you got Vinny Sincere there. I read an interview. He said a lot of glowing things about you and Thorin and the amount of snaps you guys are bringing back. What different style of coaching or a different approach to like teaching the scheme has he brought since being there?
I say one thing about Coach Vinny. He's somebody who gonna cover everything. Like you know, I play free safety, and it's like it's not like it's not like you just play free safety. I'm learning like from the D lines, point of view, from the linebackers to the weak safety. So just he's really like helping me like bring my game to the next level.
How'd you end up with number 14? It looks like you were number 5, maybe 25 in high school. How'd you end up with number 14, and then you've stuck with it?
I say Coach PT. That was all set up for me to like get my number 5. Kamari had it.
It was a good call. Hey, kill the fan. Kill the fan.
Cut the fan off.
Yeah, that's a good call, Rob.
Shout out to Rob. Appreciate your membership to Stadium and Gale.
Not gonna lie, 14 looks a little crazy.
I don't
like it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Not a fan
I
of it?
don't like it. Nah, I'm not.
Okay.
But it kind of like it grew on me.
Yeah, I'm about to say it make you look different.
But,
It make you stand out. It make you look like you're trying to make some shape. You don't make some other little kids get in that 14 one day.
So, but yeah, though, Coach Patrick Tony was supposed to handle that for me. Then, he left like my second week there, so it's kind of like it was stuck on me. But I just played in it.
Yeah.
Corey just asked you about it, but like, what does that do to you as a young player? Because you realize, I guess, quickly that it's a business. Like the coach who told me all these things was going to be my coach, my coordinator. I get on campus, everything's new, and then all of a sudden he's got, boxes in his office and he's moving.
I say it just made me grow up. Coming in there, I'm about like 17, 18, and the coach who I was talking to about every day, what a plan for me, he gone. So it's kind of like, you gotta put your head down and work. So
What else? Jordan, talk to us a little bit about this upcoming year. What are you working on the most?
He probably need to hit echo cancellation. He got a bad signal.
Yeah,
he's in the sticks in Georgia, in the Georgia mountains or something. Look, he out of there.
Yeah,
hopefully he got that Athens Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he's frozen again. Apologies for. I mean, obviously we're working through some audio thing. That's what happens when you have a live show. And Dan the Man's the producer, so can't clear this stuff at the beginning. But we're gonna get him back on here in a second when his video comes back on. Number 14, kind of crazy to you? I kind of like it. It's a little different.
I like 14. I'm a fan of 14.
I mean, he said it himself. It's like if Jordan got on campus and as a running back, and they were like, "Hey, here's 37."
37 ain't 14. That's funky.
It's a running back number. Like 14 can be. I mean, 14. That's Luke Del Rio. When Jordan
37 means transfer. If you get 37, they telling you, "Hey, bro, we really don't even want to give you this."
Well, that's what I was saying. Remember, like Jamarcus Weston, I was like, "Yo,
we had a higher players on the board."
They moved Jamarcus Weston from receiver to safety, and they kept him in 88. I'm like, "Dog, that they are telling you to leave."
But then they moved him to defensive line.
Then he's playing edge. He was playing linebacker. Then he was playing edge, still in the 88. And I'm like, "That's messages are being sent."
So, how about Billy? Billy said he could win to the draft early.
He did say that. He did say that. New York Jets, I think, right?
No, he signed one of the biggest undrafted free agent deals. I don't think he got drafted, but he signed one of
No, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I texted you guys. Des Watson. Have an inside plug to Des Watson now, so we'll kind of keep up with him.
Oh, yeah, man. They've got Jamarcus Weston, defensive end. They put him in 54, active with the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be a special teams guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just big, fast, and he just be a gunner. Like he's just a big, fast, strong dude. He just can't play receiver and all these other positions like DN and shit. But if you just need him to just run, get ball.
I mean, he's gonna light up the social media workout videos that hop up on the timeline, and everybody else is you're struggling for content. Jamarcus Weston's gonna be throwing up like 650, 700 on that squat rack for one rep.
I went to a camp when I was a kid. Like one thing about like NFL, like just making teams. So I went to this camp held by Jesse Hester at the time, Belglade. I remember him telling all the kids at the camp, it was just like, get fast. Every coach think they can fix fast. Every coach, you can't catch. Like they gonna try to fix it, bro. Like just get fast.
You want to see if Jordan's coming back, Corey? I don't know if he's. I don't know what it's like. I mean,
yeah, he might be out of here, bro. Like that signal.
The signal was crazy. Maybe we'll get him when he's back in Gainesville on that.
Yeah, I'm telling him, let's run it back, man.
Yeah, no, I mean that's great content. I want to make sure that we get him back on in the future. I mean, it seemed like he was having a good time. So.
Mr. Mizell,
I'm sure he's
back checking big time.
I'm sure
Nick Harbor in a
10-1.
He ran a
10-1. That's fast.
Yeah, he's elite track speed. He runs track at SC.
I don't keep up with South Carolina.
South Carolina.
We don't play him.
Yeah,
so.
he's down to run it back, man. Once he gets back in Gainesville, so we'll run it back once he gets settled in. I didn't want to waste the content on that crackling as well. That was starting to it was throwing off our flow a little bit. You know, like
there was a little bit of that delay. It's like when I had that Wi-Fi issue for a couple of weeks when I had my old place.
Yeah.
You were overworking that hamster.
Yeah, on that Mint Mobile Wi-Fi. All right. So let's
quarterback talk.
Let's get back into quarterback talk. We're talking backups. We're talking Aiden Warner. Will Mizell said Aiden Warner effectively can spin the ball.
I got Aiden Warner as my QB2. Like after going to the spring game,
he is.
Yeah, he is a little bit. Yeah, like at least when the bullets aren't live too. Like we got to keep that in.
Come on, guys.
The bullets ain't live.
Come on.
But watching Harrison Bailey
do not belong at spring games.
Right. Watching Harrison Bailey and some of the other guy. Well, Harrison Bailey didn't look bad. He just looked like great value Graham Mertz. Just super checks downs. Just didn't, as a guy that old, I don't think he was just making the type of plays I would like to see from a guy like that. I thought Aiden Warner.
Aiden Warner? Oh, sorry.
No, I was talking about Harrison Bailey.
Yeah.
I thought
Harrison Bailey was being recruited by Jim McElwain.
Yeah, he was like a 5-star back then.
And not at Central Michigan.
No, Aiden. Yeah. No, he's being recruited by Jim McElwain here at the University of Florida. And I remember a lot of Gator fans were upset when Dan Mullen didn't go after him.
That's facts.
We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. You know what I mean? We got to go visit some tweets. We got him, boys.
We got him.
So Aiden Warner, I think when Graham got hurt and DJ, I wrote a story. I was like, well, shoot, who the hell is the backup? And that's when I wrote the Aiden Warner story. Balin, his quarterback coach, sent me the video that got him the preferred walk-on spot. I was like, damn, this kid can throw. This kid can spin it.
He was a good player. I think he's from West Orange?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, he was a good high school player. And obviously, listen, I'm going to put myself in the position of Aiden Warner, right? Like, obviously, he's at Florida now. Maybe you're not getting recruited by the big schools. Maybe you're getting looked at by some G5, whatever it might be. But Yale comes along and Yale gives you the opportunity to play and you can get into Yale. Like, I think I'm taking Yale over Toledo.
If I'm Aiden Warner, I'm never leaving Yale. I'm going to be honest with y'all.
I mean, you gotta follow in your rival at Harvard footsteps in Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I'm not going to the NFL, bro. Like it's like just self-awareness, right? And I'm not trying to kill the kid's dreams or anything, but I tell my son the same thing. You just got to be realistic with a Yale degree or a long shot at the NFL. You know, like wow, UF degree ain't nothing to like to
to scoff at.
Yeah, it's legit. But you're talking about Ivy League, Yale, brother. Like it's a different ballpark.
Xavier Lee, and I know that summer classes, but has told me last week when we did our Thursday Q&A, the workload significantly different
at Florida
than it was at Princeton.
It's a lot harder, right?
He said different. He said different. Yeah. So it's a little different. So Aiden Warner comes to Florida. They find out that he has a torn ACL. He misses all of spring. He ends up winning the job like week 2, week 3. What percentage of the playbook is thrown at him when he's running the scout team? So he's not even running Florida's playbook in the fall because he's running scout team. And then all of a sudden it's, hey, kid, you're up. Enjoy playing on the 40 acres against Texas. You're starting. And they didn't know that he was going to start because DJ kept trying to start, even warmed up in Austin. Not saying that like he was close that game. Nothing in that game was close. After the coin flip, the game was over. But like not a position really to be successefused.
Right.
No,
probably
you set him up for failure.
I did not. I said the kid can spin it, and I retweeted, republished my story.
Will Mizell also said he could spin it, so make sure that in the future you're attacking him as well. I'm just kidding.
Will hop on. Will, they've been at my damn neck. They've memed me. I've become a meme.
I think that there is a difference, right? And I think that that's an important thing to delineate between being able to spin it and then being a quarterback for a team that like it was dejected, right? Without DJ Lagway, you're going up against Texas, the very first drive,
team,
Texas
national championship.
Yeah, Texas is marching down the field in that first drive. You don't get points on your second. They do the exact same thing, even quicker on the second drive, right? So the team is dejected. I don't think that that's a true representation of who Aiden Warner is. And obviously throwing him in the game after DJ Lagway, suffers that injury against Georgia. He didn't have a great game, but also you got to wonder what the team was feeling at that moment too. And then you were only down by 1 touchdown halfway through the fourth quarter in that game too. So.
Yeah, that was an ugly affair. There's no way to paint it, man. I like the narration that you guys put around it. I like it. Steven Spielberg type, layout storytelling. But if we get the QB2, everybody pray, man. Like we got to keep QB1 upright. We got to keep him. We got a good offensive line. But I think like the season, of course, like most of the teams in the country, I just don't think it should be a considerable drop off this year. So whoever they go to with QB2, it can't look like it looked last year. Well, QB3 really, but whoever they go to with QB2, because the room is the room. I would like to see Tramel Jones, what he looks like in camp. I would like to see him make some progress. No spring, as a quarterback, you're drowning a little bit, but it looked like he put on some considerable size. I think from an RPO perspective, he makes the offense as identical with Lagway as you can if somebody gets hurt and goes down. Like the other guys can't do anything mobile that Tramel could bring to the table. So I would like to see Tramel up his game, throughout camp, even if become a solid QB3 so I can have that type of hope. So if Lagway does go down, even if you're going with an Aiden Warner, you can still bring a Tramel in on spot duty, on some run situation, goal line, short yards, running, whatever that may be. So that's my take on the quarterback room overall.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about it. I got to see Tramel in person when I went to the one little spring practice. Obviously, there was no ball out there, but just like you said, I feel like he's kind of the closest thing we got to Lagway in the room. Obviously, he's a puppy, so throwing him out there this year, if we had to, would definitely be putting him in the fire. But Lagway potentially might be gone soon. So, got to get somebody ready to fill those big shoes after he has a big year. So, if I was leaning towards somebody, to definitely be Tramel Jones Jr. So, That's just my take on it. Just so I know that we building the quarterback room for the future, and I know the tools that he has to implement to the game that can kind of keep our offense running the way it is. We don't got to really change up too many play calls. We don't got to go a little bit more pro style and less running now because of who we got behind the center. So I think I'll rock out with him as my QB2. I know as of now he's not that, but I would like to see that.
Which
Aiden Warner went to
Winter. He went to Winter Park. Sorry, Kenny. You asked the question, did him and Castell play together? No, they didn't. He went to Winter Park. My apologies. Jordan Castell went to West Orange.
So I don't
go ahead.
So real quick. Warner and Harrison Bailey. Clay Millen had an injury. I didn't really see him do anything in the spring, and I was out there for every practice. So I don't know who would be QB3 right now. Jordan knows you've got the big field, the JV field. That's where Tramel was. Obviously, you're on campus for a month before spring practice starts. You don't know what's what yet. So that can change, but I don't know who would be 3 right now. I'm guessing Bailey, but like Bailey and Warner were given equal reps at starting because DJ wasn't throwing, equal reps with the ones. And then that shifted after about 4 or 5 practices. And it was Aiden Warner clearly was the one with Harrison behind him. So in my mind, obviously we're probably a month away-ish.
Mm-hmm.
30 days-ish. Jordan knows you get that starting, you get opening day was what, August 31st, September 1st. So that means July 1st or the end of July. 30 days summer camp in the heat.
What?
They used to bust your ass over to Disney.
For real though.
Let me ask you guys a kind of a hypothetical question here. We never want to talk about injuries, but let's just say there is an injury, right? Early on to number 2. Gators,
who hurt you?
I'm talking hypotheticals here because this is how you create content, Nick. He's been gone for too long, Corey. Forgot that you have to make content. You just got to talk about things. All right. So you have most of the season ahead of you. You have Aiden Warner, you have Tramel Jones, a guy that you think might be, a future quarterback for your team. After Lagway leaves, do you potentially just try to go with the best quarterback at the time, or do you try to build for what that future might look like with Tramel Jones? No. You're shaking your head, Nick. Remember, this is an audio medium for most of our listeners.
Well, I was waiting for you to finish burping before I jumped in. No, to me, it's you're going to you have Will Griffin coming in next year. Will Griffin will be here in January.
I'm going to say Tramel Jones better than Will Griffin, but that's a hot take. Fans don't want to hear.
You're right.
But but it's not like a clear cut. It's not like you have the next DJ Lagway. To me, we're spinning it with Aiden Warner. If this doomsday scenario just put into the ether, into the
Nick,
universe.
I don't want to cut you off, but I'm going to, because we're talking hypotheticals for this year. DJ Lagway is coming back the year after, right? Like barring something catastrophic where he were to leave, right? Again, we're talking about this season and what this season could look like. As much as Will Griffin could be an impact, he's still going to be in high school when this entire scenario we're talking about. So I'm going to re-ask you the question again.
Right. You said, would you go with someone like Aiden Warner, or would you build for the future and use that on Tramel Jones? And I said, it's not like Tramel is DJ. And you also have another freshman coming in who can compete with Tramel. So it's not like we're building for the future by getting the freshman reps just to get the freshman reps. DJ's coming back.
But I would imagine, and I don't know, and we'll see, right? But I would imagine that Tramel Jones is probably realistically your backup next season, right? I think that's why you recruit him, right? Mm-hmm. So again, you find yourself in a situation where something could potentially happen. Do you try to give those reps now, or do you just run with the best player at the time?
Most experience or building for the future. I'm going with building for the future. Unless we're on like some crazy undefeated run and we feel like the difference between the two quarterbacks are so big to where we actually have a chance of winning, we might as well rock out. Like that's how I feel.
Yeah, it depends too on like how well the defense is playing and all of that. You're right. So you're not like the kid doesn't have to play hero ball when you play complementary football. But for me, ideally, like if we're in that scenario, you would want to introduce like Trammell as a true freshman to the game in spot duty. But as the season transgresses, you want to be able to run your RPO. We haven't been able to run the RPO a year yet. And that's a staple of this offense. If you can't even get into the RPO, like you're not really getting into like the play calling has already been questionable. And you can't use a part of the game that's a cornerstone to this offense, which is RPO. You couldn't use it with AR because he didn't want to get hit. He was saving his body for the NFL. You get Graham Mertz. He's just not an RPO guy. He don't have those capabilities. He's not a threat to run, so it's not a real threat. Lagway pulls his hamstring. But we saw a glimpse of it with Lagway, right? When you first started seeing that RPO, you're like, oh, man, I can see what this offense could look like. This is the first real look at RPO. So to get a little glimpse of it with Lagway and for Lagway to be running and then us to go back to the Graham Mertz days, to me, would be a step backwards in just progression of the program. So eventually I want our whole room to look like Lagway's, Trammell, Will Griffin's, guys that can move and be mobile. But right now we got two guys that aren't like that in the room. But now I would like to see Trammell get the reins.
At what point of this schedule are you getting DJ hurt, Dan?
Oh my God.
Are you
Jeez,
personally
like that, bro?
Yeah.
That's a crazy
Corey,
way
I
to
think
work.
you and I need to have a conversation like we were having a couple of weeks ago about Nick's future on this show.
So at what point? Because if it's like before South Florida, are you then
so we're gonna put this out into the ether. At no point did I ever say that I would like him to, or am I gonna prognosticate that he's gonna get injured on a particular game. I am asking, should something happen at some point, what would you do to evaluate that room if you were the coach? You're not.
Right.
Would you break the news to you? But at what point do you look and say, hey, do we want to build a future around trying to win some football games now? And if we think that Aiden Warner's that guy, you run with him, or do you also try to make that investment, in that 4-star QB that you just got for this class? Or how would you particularly evaluate that? And I know it depends, right? Like if it happens in
jokes
game
aside,
1
like
game
if
10, right?
DJ gets hurt versus South Florida, I'm not throwing a freshman into that part of the schedule, LSU, Miami, Texas, A&M. If DJ gets hurt like the end of the Texas A&M schedule, and let's say you're undefeated or you have one loss, like, hey, who gives us the best chance right now? If you're a game over 500 or 500 going into, like Georgia, Mississippi State, like, okay, it's a different answer based on the point of the schedule you're at. But like if DJ's getting hurt against South Florida, you can't put a freshman into a start at LSU.
Death Valley. Yeah, no, I get that, right?
How Warner spins it, my brother. If he looks like Texas, we definitely can put him in there.
He spins it.
That's what I'm getting at. Them boys ain't gonna
buddy, we're slinging pizzas. We're spinning them.
I think the one thing that I do want to see is Trammell Jones at some point in the not too distant future pass Harrison Bailey on the depth chart. That to me would speak confidence, whether you could potentially see him or not. Right. Those are the things that maybe we could have talked about and you wouldn't have gotten so worked up about it. But that's ultimately what I think Florida and Billy Napier wants is Trammell Jones to earn that spot higher on the depth chart. Right. And I would hope that what you'll see at practice and what, the coaches will see is that development of his skill set coming in, because ideally you would want him, at least that's the way that you're going to hopefully recruit the position, for him to be your backup next season behind DJ Lagway.
I think the first thing is we just need to keep you away from DJ because it seems as if there's a vendetta.
No vendetta.
I agree with you, though. I think in terms of progressing, right now, right now it's obviously DJ, Aiden, and then Bailey, Millen, 3-4, Trammell 5. You would like to see kind of like the way that Aiden did, jumping the other backups, going from 5 to 3. You would like to see Trammell at whatever pace is reasonable, whether that's before fall camp and he hits, the first depth chart that they have to put out comes out.
Yeah.
If he's 3 then, or if he's 4 then, you'd like to see that progression go, because at some point, you want to see like, hey, the game is starting to slow down, even if it's just at practice. Hey, the game's starting to slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I just want to monitor it in camp, man. But like I said, we got to get to a point where the quarterback room is continuity in the style of play. You feel me? I think that's going to be important to just progress in the offense.
Yeah, no, it'll be good to have some alternatives, hopefully in the next year or two, that can run that RPO, right? Because I don't think that Harrison Bailey and Aiden Warner are your RPO style. And that completely changes the way that you use the position. And then that changes your running back of, the way that you're going to use your running backs as well. Right. So, I guess we'll see. Certainly not a ton to talk about, right? Like we obviously, what are your expectations? Let's talk about DJ Lagway, because, we kind of skipped over him for obvious reasons. What are your expectations for Lagway? Obviously he comes in as a bunch of people have ranked him in the top 10 of quarterbacks, not only just in the obviously top 5 in the SEC, but top 10 in the country. What are your expectations for him this year? He's got, long shot odds to win, not super long shot, kind of mid shot odds to win the Heisman Trophy this year. What are your guys' expectations out of him?
It's crazy. It's like, go ahead, Jordan.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, I definitely want to see him in the Heisman race. May not win it, but for him just to at least be in the Heisman race, that's my expectation for him this year. And I feel like that just speaks volumes. If he's doing that alone, obviously that'll let you know where our team should be at. So yeah, I'm hoping for him to be in the Heisman race and for us to be a playoff team, man. I feel like if he can do those two things for us, that's my expectation for this year for him.
Yeah, if DJ's in the Heisman race, you have to assume that Florida's in the playoff race as well. Nick, what were you going to say?
When we had Miss Nikki on, DJ's mom, on the podcast, her and Justin, I remember saying something like, I feel like we put too much pressure on DJ. Just like the way that the media talked about him, the fans talked about him, just a kid from a 6,000 population town in Willis, Texas. I was talking to Brian Taylor about Willis, and he's like, oh, DJ's from the sticks. He's like, Brian's from Houston. And like the way that Miss Nikki said it was just like, oh yeah, no, we know. And you guys haven't seen anything yet. Like we knew the expectations when we came here. DJ wanted to come here to live up to those expectations. He wanted that kind of pressure. That has always stuck with me because I've never said it about a Florida quarterback that I've covered. Been here since 2013, covered all 26 quarterbacks that handed Jordan the ball. And like, I think DJ Lagway, if he lives up to the potential that he has, can be a quarterback that gets a statue outside of the stadium. I think he has that kind of potential. And saying that to his family, they're like, yeah, no, that you're right. That's our son. That's him. And he's not shying away from that work and knows the work that has to go in. You don't just show up and do it. So that's the expectation. We wish him nothing but health and wealth. At least 75% of the hosts do.
I mean, we didn't get to see him in the spring game. So one of the things this offseason I wanted to see him work on is just like those intermediate throws. I think he has a very accurate deep ball. He can throw the slant and all that stuff, but that's 15 to 17 yard like comebacks and like there's just some accuracy stuff I wanted to see him work on. And also just some of the decision making. He had some head scratchers, especially that Tulane game.
Yeah.
That was just a little off, but expectations for him to make that sophomore jump. And everybody's gonna have their eyes on him to see what that jump looks like without a spring game. He's out and throwing right now, but it's just staying healthy. That leg, everything, every part of his body, keeping it healthy so you can run that RPO. But I expect a tremendous sophomore jump, and like Jordan said, to be hanging around in that Heisman race the entire year, and that's going to take like big production, big plays. He has that it factor because you don't just win like the Heisman off of just stats. He has that, like we seen some of those crazy throws and even some of the runs and stuff that he was doing last year that he can be in that race and possibly win it. So that's my expectations. We don't have to rely on him. He don't have to play hero ball. I hope he realizes that. Like, we got a good defense he can lean on a little bit. We got a run game he can lean on, so he don't have to like press and, you know, get in the turnover risk. I want to see him clean up his turnovers as well, the interceptions.
If we're keeping it 100 too, go back and watch more of those games. There are so many plays that like interception dropped, wrong read kind of stuff. I remember my buddy Ryan Braun, who we've had on the show, text me during a game. He's like, "Bro, DJ, it might even have been his first start game too." He's like, "Bro, he's had like 4 passes that could have been picks, 2 of them pick sixes." Like, I'm like, yeah, there's been a lot of like just good luck stuff that's happened.
I think it's a bit more. I think you were bullish on the number there, to be honest with you.
On what?
4 in the first game?
I can't remember. The first game was
that's a lot of potential picks.
It was a game. There was one where it was just like, man, there were a couple that were dropped or just thrown with a little too much mustard past everybody, incomplete. You just got such crazy arm talent that like you're going to get kind of like that Brett Favre mentality where it's like, oh, I can make this pass because I can make any pass.
Yeah, I mean, I think looking back, right, at his stat sheet here, you know, he played against Samford. Obviously, he set the record, 456 yards, 3 touchdowns. In there, played, you know, sparingly against Texas A&M, 6 of 13, threw 2 interceptions. In that game, he threw an interception against Miami in the first game, 6 for 13 for 54 yards, 1 touchdown. His long was 16. Mississippi State, he comes in 7 for 7, 76 yards. UCF goes 4 for 4 for 50 yards. Tennessee, kind of when he started, throwing the ball a little bit more, 9 of 17 for 98 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Kentucky, 259 yards, but just 7 of 14 with 1 interception. Georgia, 2 for 6 for 47 yards. LSU throws 50%, 226. Ole Miss, 10 of 17, 1 interception, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. Florida State, 14 of 22, just 133 yards with a 25-yard long. And then Tulane throws 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 305 yards. We also didn't see him really run, right? The Kentucky game, he had 46 yards with a long of 25. That was the most that he ran all season. And then obviously he gets injured in that Georgia game. We don't get to see him run against LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State, or Tulane. And then this past offseason spends it, nursing and dealing with an injury concern. So I don't think that we've even seen many, if any, outside of that Samford game, complete DJ Lagway game and what he's able and capable of doing as a quarterback. So I still think we're looking and hoping that this progression is there as a quarterback, but I still, there's still some to be desired. And that's not to criticize him at all. He was a true freshman and thrown in a situation where he probably wasn't expected to play that much. But I think that there's a big leap and a big hope and expectation this offseason that he can be that Heisman, contender. And it really does stink that he missed this spring, nursing, and getting his health back.
Ceiling's high.
Yeah.
Like I expect a big season, brother. I expect a big season. Fireworks, run game to go crazy. Offensive line, he's got protection. He's got targets. This offense should be explosive. Like, he's got the tools around him.
Yeah. What's your expectation this year in terms of him doing a kind of a true RPO? I mean, he's not an option type quarterback, but do you expect to see him running the ball, more this year? He was averaging, if I look back, and it's hard to look back just because he was kind of playing in half the games, and then after, he was injured, but, you're expecting 5, 6, 7 rushes out of him a game. against Kentucky, he ran the ball 9 times. Is that feasible? What do you
guys?
guys
9 runs and just like plays breaking down a little bit. I think you get about 4 or 5 design runs, and then he's gonna break the pocket on some stuff and turn like good coverage into like gains as well if things break down. So man, I mean, you may like between both, looking at about 9 rushes a game, in my opinion, like an average.
I like that. I like about like 8 to 10, maybe 8 to 20 rushes for the game. Like Corey said, just a couple design runs here or there, whether it's short yardage, just want to have 10 blockers and him running type of deal. Get a couple design runs like that, as well as breaking down the pocket where he'll make most of his money at. So I'm cool with 8 to 10.
He does a really, really good job of keeping his eyes upfield, though.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say, because I don't think it's the case that he's forcing the point to be a passer first, but I think that's his mentality. It's like, yeah, I can run. If you go back and watch like the Willis highlight tape, like he runs a bunch, but he's also the biggest guy on the field. He's as big as some of the defensive tackles he's playing against. But like it's in his mind, he is a pass first quarterback who can run, and you probably have to coach some of that out of him to be like, hey, at some point we don't need you going back to your first read after you've gone through 4. Just take off and run. If there's a lane, it's a lane, because he's always looking for something to develop, a receiver to cut back. He's scrambling, and you can get the first, but you see him like pointing guys like, hey, come over here and I'll throw you there kind of thing. And it might just be like, hey, take the 6 yards instead of trying to do that. But then with the injury history, how much do you want to do that? So it'll be interesting to see that kind of develop. I think you said, Corey, like throughout fall camp or summer camp, fall camp, how does that develop, before the Bullets are live in those practices?
Yeah, I think
You muted. You was talking, Jordan?
No, I was just about to chime in on kind of what Nick was saying with I kind of feel like I kind of like it. Like I like the way that he looks downfield, because look at Patrick Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He makes most of his money off scramble drills, extended plays. So if Lagway can build that relationship with these receivers, obviously he just missed spring. That's a big one for us, where he could have built that relationship with them and kind of getting in sync with them on where they're looking. He shouldn't even have to point directions. They should already kind of know where to go on scramble drill. If he can get that down packed and he can master the scramble drill, I think we can be a real problem to a lot of teams, because you can call it any coverage you want to. Once the play break down and people get to running freestyle stuff and we can be in sync on freestyle stuff, we're going to be a real problem. So I kind of like the way that he scrambled and looked downfield. It may hurt us sometimes, but overall, I think we can get a lot of explosive plays out of that. So if we can master that scramble drill, I feel like that'll be another element to our offense that'll be killer.
Yeah, I was told as well, just to watch for like pace of the game to change this year. We'll see what that looks like, but if we see maybe some tempo start going out the first downs, like some quick hurry up, offense type stuff, like I think we're gonna see some of that as well. And that way, if that starts to happen, we'll know there's like some Russ Callaway fingerprints on the offense. But I think that can help us out as well. If you got this many explosive players on this roster, keeping teams from being able to sub, line back up. If you find a hole in the offense, they got bad players on the field. They, you catch them in a dime and we can run down their throat, because they got too many DBs on the field. Like, get some tempo going. The pace of the game, I thought, like, I'm gonna let you go down. I don't want to get blown with it, but I thought one of the issues last year, one of the things I didn't like was like it felt like some drives we had momentum, and then we look at the sidelines for like a minute to get the play in. It felt like like that's just got to change this year. I want to see more pace to the offense outside of just like the play calls. That goes into it too,
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, obviously Florida is going to be replacing their top 2 wide receivers this upcoming year. You bring in J. Mike, but you look at the other guys that are going to get some burn, this year, besides the freshmen that everybody's obviously building chemistry with. But you look at your Aiden Mizels, your Tank Hawkins, your TJ Abrams, those guys that were on the second team when DJ Lagway was on the second team, when they came in, and they probably have some chemistry through going through those practices together as second team. So what I'm hoping is that chemistry exists already, because Florida is replacing nearly everything, at that wide receiver position. Obviously, you get Eugene Wilson back, you bring in J. Mike, you hope a lot out of, Mizell and, Dallas Wilson and, the rest of these guys. But, I do think it's important that they were able to build that chemistry to be able to transfer to this year, because you're going to add a lot more Aiden Mizell, this season. You're going to add, hopefully some more of TJ Abrams and Tank Hawkins into this offense. And hopefully last season we got to see them build some of that chemistry together, where there's not that big of a jump, because that is a position that I know is full of talent, but there's still some concern that I have, just because a lot of it's not proven. So if they can have that chemistry and immediately, hit it off in game one and in game two, then, I'll feel a lot more confident. But that's the big thing that, I think it could be a, big question mark as we enter the year on what DJ Lagway could potentially do.
Yeah, I'm confident. I seen small, like I'm with you. That's a great take on the receiver room. This is going to be, I like that we only brought one guy in. Like we bring in a lot of talented receivers, so I don't want to just keep drowning them on the depth chart with transfer portal guys. So I'm glad we didn't get aggressive there. Jake Michael Sturdivant, you got one guy, exactly what he brings to the table. And then the guys that we seen sparks from, like we seen, why it's not a lot, and we wanted more out of these guys, the Tank Hawkins, the Aiden Mazzells. We seen them in big time games make big time plays, and then they will go into the shadows and you don't see them again. So I've seen the ability. Now it's all about, getting those guys the ball in a more consistent fashion. But even if we go to Eugene Wilson, we've seen sparks, and everybody waiting on to see that full time. Like all these guys, we've seen all of them be explosive, but now give them all a role. And let's see. And what's dope too, because a lot of those guys were second team and DJ was second team.
Right.
So he got to throw to a lot of the guys that's going to be, he's starting, now they're starting. So there's chemistry between those guys already. But
yeah,
I was ready for the games to get played, brother.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's one thing, in having been at that Tulane game, and obviously you guys watched it as well, I think that there was a lot of forced passes there. I think he was trying to light it up, trying to light up the scoreboard. It was 14-7 at halftime. I think that they're really
also too, like the people that were out that game from both sides of the line too.
Yeah, well, I know it's not 1-to-1, right? But right. Tulane was out a lot of people as well, and they were out.
They transfer a lot of people. A lot of people hit the portal for Tulane.
Right,
that's true. Like I remember Tulane's,
and wasn't there
the
question
starting
about
quarterback
their coach too? Their coach was being thrown around to potentially leave.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot about the game, and who said it here? Money Green said Tulane he should have had like 4 picks. Tulane dropped 3 or 4. I mean, there was one pass that you just the one where he tried to thread it through 3 lines, at least 1 linebacker, maybe 2 defensive backs. So, hope that was just a scrimmage approach.
There's a lot of that. Like he's got uncommon arm talent, and with that comes that level of confidence of like, I can throw.
That was.
I can throw that football through that window 10 times out of 10. You're like, that window was the linebacker's face. You can't throw the ball through the linebacker's helmet.
That would have got through at Willis, but not in like college, bro. Like some of those throws he made in the Tulane game.
Time to learn that.
Yeah, I think he'll these guys do a good job of coaching the quarterbacks up. So I just expect like him to understand and go back and look at film. He's a smart kid. He's a studious kid. Like he loves to study film. So like that part of the game, I think it'll get cleaned up. But that's what we're looking for to happen. Him to like grow from those type of freshmen. And like the mistakes we're talking about are freshman mistakes.
Right. Yeah.
Like he got to make them, like we got to see him make the mistakes on TV instead of in practice and hearing Billy talk about it on a media opportunity. So it's all good. We all just got to remember he is a true freshman playing,
with no expectation to play as much as he did, right? Like I know Corey, you wanted him to play from the beginning, right? You're screaming from the mountaintop, like it's time, right?
Miami game right away. Let's go, baby.
Right, yeah. But but I think that there's obviously a huge jump that you're going to make in understanding the game and slowing down, even if you didn't practice, this fall or this spring, pardon me, as much as you would have liked. Being able to get fully healthy, being able to you learn and connect with, whatever potential new wrinkles there might be in the offense with Russ Callaway and what that might mean. I've not been this excited about a quarterback in a long time, maybe since the year Kyle Trask came back, right? Colby Morris, did we ever get DJ on the show? Yes, we did. We had an event with the DJ Lagway Foundation a few months ago. You can find it on our YouTube page or on our podcast feed as well. Bunch of other players that were there. All right. Any final thoughts on the quarterback position? Next week, we'll talk about the running backs.
Deep. Room is deep.
Room is
Bro,
deep.
I was watching the running backs lift. Ooh.
Give us some tea on the lift session, bro. I know that's part of Victoria's content, but give us something, bro. What's up? I seen Jaden Woods throwing around big weight, bro.
Yeah. So let me pull this up. I can't make this public, but I can talk about it a little bit. The board, I think I talked about it last year at my previous employer, because I had a chance to go in and do it. They have a chalkboard, and when I went in a couple of weeks ago, really before I was in the hospital, I was like, oh, they haven't changed the board yet, but it's all time. Not all time back to Jordan's days, but all time since Billy's got there. But you remember when Urban was here and they had who's the fastest and they had those times and stuff. It's kind of like that. It's in the way.
Are they as egregious? I hope so.
The 40 times are not as egregious. Let me see. The best 40 time on the team. No, not egregious. It's not, Percy's 3-7-4.
It's not the 4-2-1.
No. There's no 3 second 40s up here. But it's filled by positions like quarterback, running back, receiver. So defensive end, outside linebacker. Jaden Woods has already broken the record at clean with 365, and I think Tyler said he did 385, 375 with Tyler. Earlier that week. Squat was 525. I watched him do 535 when I was there, so he hasn't updated that yet. This is Jaden Woods, who is not yet 19 years old. And we had him on the show. You hear how well spoken, how put together he is. This kid could be
that's an all pro, NFL player.
Yeah,
right there.
Could just be a grad student who isn't spending all of his time lifting weights. I remember I was talking to Jake and Austin, who were squatting their own 500 pounds. And Jake Slaughter was like, yeah, this kid's just different. He comes in, he's like, I can't lift with Jaden Woods. And it's Jaden. Everyone's kind of split up with people who lift similarly, and it's just George Gums and Jaden. Most of the squat racks had 3 people, and there's George and Jaden just go do your thing, whatever you guys want to
check on you in 30 minutes, make sure you're still staying in.
Yeah. Just super humble, quiet, just goes about his business. And I kind of mentioned it on the show, being out there at practice longer than those 15 minutes, just seeing how much they have him running and doing. He's with the outside linebackers or with the middle linebackers working on coverage stuff, and then running back over Jaden, we need you over here. I just watching him run back and forth from the outside, the edge group to with the linebackers, trying to get him. There was no training wheels, no floaties on, just threw him in the pool. But then the other one who silently goes about his business in the running back room, Jacoby Jackson can lift a truck. Treon Webb, I didn't know he was strong like that. Treon Webb, I think was squatting 450 plus. And then I'm forgetting his name. RB1.
Look at this.
Baugh is when he starts to get into his heavy doubles, heavy singles, the weight room just surrounds him. just had like a shiesty on. I was like, who is that? Who is that? Who's not a lineman, not an offensive lineman, and like who is that? And then one of the assistant strength coaches was like, oh, it's Ball. Like Ball is going to squat, and everyone's going to watch him squat 530 plus. Just a freak. The running back room eats weights.
So what were you there for? Were you there for, is everybody doing different things, or is it like a leg day, or?
So I was talking to Tyler. It was my first day back. We were doing some stuff with Florida Victorious. And I went down to the weight room because I heard music in there.
NBA
and was talking
Probably.
Started talking to Tyler. Dan's hat's a little bit crooked. He's sitting
NBA young boy, huh?
He goes, young boy, eh? Hello, fellow kids. And Tyler said, hey, come Friday, we're doing heavy single squats. And I was like, bet, don't have to tell me twice. So it was a whole team lift because they were getting the week off.
Nice.
But good vibes. Also, shout out to my guy, Tommy Doman, national champion at Michigan, punter transfer, showed up to squat day in lifting shoes, Jordan.
He ain't fucking. Oh, I mean, he ain't playing
we're lifting serious when the punter shows up with some squat shoes.
Oh, he was ready to go. That's crazy. Bro.
Any strong DB? I know DBs be shaking the weight sometimes, man. Like,
well, them boy be running from them weights.
Cormani's
Cormani look like he put on some weight. I can't.
Put on some weight
from pictures. I don't know.
Listen, that was that picture. If you work out, that picture was probably towards the end of a lift.
Right. Sure. Going. A little juiced, and
you're in the middle of a lift.
Yeah.
Like, great picture. Not taking anything away from him. He's put good weight on. He's done everything they've asked him to do on and off the field. But he was looking like a linebacker in that picture. And
you almost got to ask your team, hey, flick me up real quick, bro. Like,
yeah.
Flick me up while I get this rep in, man. This guy hit the
None of the DB stood out a ton. I was watching DJ a bunch. He can squat. He's got – I pull that picture up again. DJ Lagway has the best squat of anybody. Parker Lazy.
What, for quarterbacks?
For quarterbacks, yes.
And this is in Billy Napier's tenure, or this is just?
Yep, that means he squatted more than Graham.
Okay.
445 squat is a solid squat.
445?
Oh, that's definitely
very solid squat. Yeah.
Man, that boy built like a DN, man.
Yeah, he was doing like I didn't see him get up to 400, but everything was pretty easy. Easy for him.
I wonder how fast he is. Like that, because that's a freight train in open field. And he like his feet are nimble. I want to get back in the
he doesn't have the fastest 40, but he does have the fastest
shuttle.
They use catapult for max mile per hour, and they've got him at 20.8.
I mean, that's moving up for a guy like him.
That size,
yeah.
It's a DB nightmare, fam. I pull that Jordan Castell.
Couldn't imagine. All right, so that's quarterback room. Appreciate Nick for giving us the intel on training day, or the day that you spent with the training staff and with the players last Friday. Looking forward to your content on Florida Victorious. Be on the lookout for your free gift. Oh,
Jaden Ball, 550, 1 rep max, 550.
What? Nice.
My guy can lift. I'm telling you, the entire team, when he starts getting into his heavy singles, heavy doubles, the entire team just kind of like surrounds Jaden Ball's squat rack. The kid's a monster.
Just know that bar bear was bending.
Yes, sir.
Listen, you don't start squatting until the bar is bending. That's when the weight's getting serious.
Full squats too, Nick, from what you saw? I saw some videos of FSU doing some half squat stuff.
No.
I don't want Mark Scott to be critical.
There's no curtsying.
Mark can clean up them squats, boy.
Yeah. It's you're wiping your ass on the ground in Tyler Miles' weight room.
Okay. All right. Good knees, then. The guys have good knees. Nick, we appreciate the update there. Like I was saying, be on the lookout if you're a member of Florida Victorious, which you should be. They're giving away free your free gift right now. So be on the lookout for your email. I did. Yeah,
What'd you pick?
I picked the travel bag. I don't have any cups because I use Game Time Sidekicks for my cups. I didn't need another towel because I've got about 30 of them for the golf bag. And then I don't remember the other option. So I took the little travel bag. So be on the lookout for that. I do want to give one final shout out to our friends over at Alumni Hall. Go visit alumnihall.com. Let them know Stadium and Gale sent you. So either Alumni Hall or go visit them in Gainesville on Archer Road. Again, that's Alumni Hall. Anything that you could ever want for your Florida Gator in your life. Again, that's alumnihall.com or Alumni Hall in Gainesville, Florida, off of Archer Road. One final point here, guys. I thought it was important to bring it up. Did you guys see? This should be no surprise to the listeners of this show. Corey, I think you know where I'm going. The city of Jacksonville was named the most boring city in the United States. Is it a surprise? Anybody surprised? No? Okay.
No, man, we're not gonna do that in the 904 sign. It's my second home, brother.
No.
That, man.
Why isn't it your first home? Is it because it's boring?
No, because I was born somewhere and I wasn't born in Jacksonville. I was born in Belglade, Florida, man. But my mom is from Jacksonville, man. Shout out to the Moncrief, that whole is the North Side. Shout out to all the people over there, bro. It there isn't a lot to do, but I enjoy myself every time I'm there, bro.
Yep. Finance Buzz did the study. Don't come at Dan. Dan is just reporting the news. According to my friend Dave Soderquist, it's what he would say, just reporting the news. And here we are at the end of the show. Across a dozen data points in 75 of America's largest cities. And they determined this based on excitement, culture, and popular activities, scoring just a 14.3 out of 100.
Oh, I don't know.
They gave them a high score of 14.3. No, we're just joking. Don't.
That's like taking the SAT. You get points just for writing your name.
This is a joke. Jacksonville's great. I had a great time in Jack's Beach when I was there a couple years ago. I was there in Jack's Beach for the Turnpike Troubadours concert. Fishing in Jacksonville. Yes, fishing in Jacksonville is great. If you're fishing in Jacksonville, Joey Fitzpatrick lives there. Go charter with him. I don't know if he does charters, but he's got a nice, what looks to be a tarpon there.
Joey be on them little canoes next to sharks. I seen that.
Wait, is that a tarpon or is that a barracuda? I mean, it might be a bad.
I don't know. He need to get him a boat. That boy was on a canoe, a raft, and the sharks was like swimming right next to him. It's crazy.
Joey, let's go. We'll go boating sometime. We appreciate everybody from watching. There's a bunch of people that watch on X. We appreciate you guys watching there. Hit the retweet button. We'll get Jordan Castell back on the show in the not too distant future. We got a couple big guests, I believe, lined up for next week. Joey does not charter, but enough of you ask. It was a barracuda. Yeah, he doesn't charter, but enough of you ask. Maybe he'll take you out and he can start his chartering business. But if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. Think about becoming a member or getting the membership as well to Stadium and Gale. And finally, we forgot to talk about it at the beginning of the show. We are hosting the event at First Magnitude Brewing. Slight time change. They don't open until 2. So we'll be there a little bit earlier, but from 2 to 5, 2 to 6, whenever, we'll be there. Join us, Gators Breakdown and High Top Sports, on July the 27th. Tickets are available. You'll see them on our X or Twitter page. But again, go visit that, and we would love to see you in Gainesville on July 27th. A couple of other podcasts are going to join us, and content creators, as well as maybe some current players, definitely some former players at First Magnitude Brewing in Gainesville. Any final thoughts before we head out? Corey, we'll give you Song of the Week while you give a second to think about it.
Okay.
And then Joey has a 1-seater kayak. It would get awkward. Yeah, no, that would get awkward, but
very awkward.
If I know Joey well enough, he's, get him a boat and he'll take you fishing.
I don't know.
Way, Albert, 2020, I do love the running back room. I saw you ask, how do I feel about it? I love it. A lot of young gunners in there ready to go. So
Save for next week. Save for next week, Jordan. Don't give him too much. We got running back. We got running back.
Come tune in next week. You can get the
give him a little teaser.
We're gonna have Jordan on one-person camera next week, just talking running backs. I don't know, Dan. I don't know if this was edited or not, but I did see. Probably edited. I did see an edit on X Twitter of P. Diddy in a Edmonton Oilers jersey.
That sounds edited to me. I think
Diddy. That's wow. Oilers jersey is wild.
Yeah. I think Edmonton baby Oilers.
Yeah. Pause. You can't say that, Nick. You can't just say that kind of stuff.
I did say it.
Baby Oilers is crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right, Corey, give us the song of the week, my friend.
That's nuts, man. You're gonna get us buried in the algorithm.
Kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, man.
We're an hour 40 in. We're okay.
Let me get a song called Sunset Reflections by All Hail YT. Hell HAIL. All Hail YT. Sunset Reflections.
All right, perfect. Well, we appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you guys same corner, same time next week. Peace.